stand at it, no one and no teach. You feel the anger in the air, that's right like a Georgia beach. To those that don't believe the same, we gotta open up some eyes so they can see the game. Sometimes the truth is bitter and it brings only pain, but when the scandals up and falls off, all you see is true gain. You know who I am, and I always speak my mind. Get the real how I feel while I'm blowing out clouds of kind. We got freedom of speech, but do we got freedom of truth? It's kind of madness and lies that they keep trying to feed the youth. I speak with love, and I'm guided by a voice from heaven above. I'm a human being trying to do the best I can, but it's hard when you struggle in this world of man. The end is near, so pick which side you're on. Do you stand with fear, or will you feel your heart would feel its bravery to release your mind to something mental slavery? Before we start the show, there's something about me you should know. I'll never surrender. Wake up, baby brother. Take your hand, uplift the motherfucker. It's time down to educate, to activate. It's for tonight. In Babylon, you struggle till you win, until you're gone. I need to succeed, so I hustle till I bleed to feed my seed. It's tough out here, the walls are closing in, both far and near. So now it's time to stand up for what you believe in and shake up everything that's been deceiving. Before we start. There's something about me you should know. I'll never surrender.
Okay, this is Andy, aka the original Mr. Neva Dedd, here from AYPmagazine.com, and I got some really special guests today. We got my man Rodcore. What's up, homeboy?
What's up?
Rodcore from Year of the Dragon, and his partner in that band, the legendary Dog King of the Freaks, Dirty Walt.
Yes, the Dirt Man.
The Dirt Man, also from Fishbone, as you know. And I just want to start out by saying this. I know you won't remember me, Walt, but years ago I saw you guys in Fishbone. I saw you guys gigging at Wetlands in New York City. And the date was September 9th, 2000. The date was September 9th, 2001. It stands out because it was 2 days before the World Trade Center bombings.
Right.
And I'll never forget. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And I'll never forget. I was the one dude. I was out there so early because I think it was an afternoon gig or an early evening gig because Wetlands was getting ready to shut down. And I was outside with my "Fuck Racism" shirt on, and this limousine pulls up. I was the only dude out there. This limousine pulls up, and I'm like, oh, who's this? What's this all about? All of a sudden, all the Fishbone crew jumps out the limousine, and I'm going to say this about y'all. You were so down to earth, because you didn't know who the hell I was, but you saw the shirt, and y'all just embraced me like family. You guys didn't know who the hell I was. And that's how Fishbone rolls, and I'm sure Year of the Dragon is quite the same, very fan-friendly, and fans need to know that.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, we are definitely... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, absolutely, Rodcore. Go ahead, dude.
No, I was just going to say, as a fan, I'm a fan of Fishbone, too. And I've been lucky enough to see him, pretty much almost from day one here. Because I actually saw their first gig in my high school, like way, way back when. Wow. But, I've seen them come up at the clubs, and they've always been the same way. They've been one of the few bands out of the many bands I've seen come up here, from Jane's Addiction to the Chili Peppers to Korn to God knows who, that were always cool and had a minute, to talk to the fans afterward. And even when we go out with Year of the Dragon now, when the people come out to see Walt always got a minute for him. He always talks to them. Don't matter how tired he is or what he's going through, he will always take a minute to talk to the fans and talk to the people. And he's always been like that.
What blew my mind, too, was like, I'm vibing with the dudes, chilling, and I'm talking to Walt. Actually, I mentioned to Walt that I had some Fishbone bootlegs, some actually at the time VHS tapes, and we got the vibing, and Walt just gives me a piece of paper with his phone number and his like home address on it, and I'm like, yep. What rock star does that? You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. It blew my mind. But so you are.
Yo, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep interrupting you.
Oh, no, I mean, I need to shut the hell up. That's what I need to do. Listen to you. But now, quickly, so you are a Fishbone fan, and that's cool to know. So how did it feel? Just like I felt, like, here's the thing. Walt gave me his number. I think I called him once, and I was too intimidated to ever call him again. He was cool as fuck, but I was too intimidated because he was like a legend to me. But how did you feel auditioning? How did you feel auditioning? Because you auditioned for Year of the Dragon, didn't you, Rodcore?
Well, what happened?
Sound Barrier.
Yeah, what happened with Sound Barrier was that, you know, that's an original kind of black metal band that was going on in L.A. in the 80s. And SPACEY T, the last guitar player in Fishbone before Rocky George, and Walt, pretty much at the same time had decided they wanted to pursue something else. And that was getting Sound Barrier back together, but instead of like the 80s metal sound, making it like a lot harder, going more toward like the Metallica Slayer direction, but with some funk influence.
Right.
So they decided they still wanted to do the two vocalist format. And, you know, when I walked in and auditioned for both of them, it was just, you know, my mind was blown because, you know, I'm expecting them to have, like, the attitude and the kind of star thing. And I don't know why, because I met Walt a couple of times over the years, and he's never had no attitude or any, you know, any bad star vibe. But, you know, I just figured it would be different auditioning, you know, because this is much more of a critical thing. But they were cool, man. They were just, it was like hanging out with some homies. Just come on in, do your thing. If we like it, cool. If not, you know, thanks for taking the time to show up. And best of luck to you in the future. And luckily, you know, it went over and you know, we vibed and we started recording all this stuff. And what ended up happening was that the bass player had a serious death in the family. And it was taking him a while to adjust. And he was the guy doing all our recordings. So he had all the Sound Barrier master recordings of stuff we've been working on. And I just said to Walt, you know what? You know, while we're waiting for the bass player, Stanley, to get it together, why don't you, me and Tracy, go in and just bang out a little EP and put it out and see if we can generate a little noise and, you know, hopefully just stay busy while we're waiting for that. And we put out our first EP, which was called A Time to Love is a Time to Bleed. And, you know, it started doing so well and things started picking up, so we just kind of stayed with it, and that's how we got to the point we are today.
So, Rodcore, what's your actual background? Were you in any bands previously, or what is your music background?
My background is I was in a bunch of local bands, but the funny thing about it is if you live in Los Angeles and you grow up with bands like the Chili Peppers and Fishbone and, you know, James and Korn and oh my God, there's so many bands that came out of here, especially in the late 90s. It's almost like you have to make a decision as a musician if you're going to be more of a musician or more of a fan. And at that time, I think I was more of a fan. I don't think I had that thing in me that made me want to pursue it to the heights of some of these other bands because they were just so damn good. And playing with Walt for the first time, I was like, you know what? You know, it's time to elevate my thinking to the next level. So, you know, that's kind of the whole process with that.
So you jumped right in, huh?
Jumped right in and went for it. That's when Walter, you know, you got a guy that's been playing with Angelo all these years and been in one of the wildest, craziest bands in the world. You know, you got to get in and represent. You can't just get in there and just kind of be like whatever. You got to get in and make a mark. And I had decided, you know, even when we started working on Sound Barrier, that, you know, when I came in, I was going to make a mark.
Well, it definitely shows, and the people can check YouTube, check Year of the Dragon on YouTube, because there's some live footage up there. Rodcore definitely brings it, man. You got the charisma and you got the energy. That's for certain.
Oh, thank you, man.
Nah, man, you got it, man. You just got it. But let's get, Walt, I want to talk to you a little bit, because there's another band that you're known for called Fishbone. I don't know if people ever heard of Fishbone, but when you... I think Rodcore just answered my next question. I was going to ask you, when you left Fishbone, was it a sudden thing, or did you already have a game plan mapped out? But it sounds like Sound Barrier was your game plan.
No, it was just the next thing to do, you know what I mean? Just coming out of Fishbone, you know, I didn't even know if I wanted to do music anymore. And then, you know, Tracy said, well, I'm starting this new sound barrier thing. And I said, well, let me go ahead and jump on in and see what happens. You know, they're the homies, the brothers, the fam. So I gave it a shot, and that's how I met Rodcore.
And now it evolved into Year of the Dragon, and you guys sound great. I love that. By the way, Five Fingers of Death is just a great EP. Everybody needs to check that one out. We'll get back into that a little bit more in a little bit. But a few years ago, I was hanging out with John Stewart at a show here in North Carolina, and he mentioned that you were actually working with REM. Is that true? In what capacity?
Yeah, I did production. I was a production assistant with REM and with the Red Hot Chili Peppers on their Stadium Arcadium tour.
Oh, okay. How'd you enjoy that?
Oh, that was fun. You know, you get to see all the insides of the business that, you know, you would, you know, if you're on the stage, you would, you know, neglect to look at.
That kind of whole different side, right?
Exactly. You know, it's the whole other side of the business. You know, the guys that put up the lights, the sound, you know, arrange the catering and the whole arena thing. You know what I mean? Flights for the band, traveling, all that.
Now you also have Dirty Walt and Columbus Sanitation, another band that you're involved in. Is that still an active unit, or is that just something you kind of do it at your leisure?
Well, that's my solo stuff, so, you know, I do that at my leisure. You know, I'm thinking about getting it started back up again, you know, do another little record or something. But, you know, it's going to take a lot of players to make that pop out in a live kind of focus.
And let me break in here real quick and just say that Walt, maybe a year ago, played me some of the stuff that he was working on with Columbus Sanitation for a solo thing. And trust me, I'm hoping he puts it out there because it to me is some fantastic shit.
Yeah, which one was it?
The smoking the weed.
Yeah, I'm always smoking the weed.
It was like a slow jam. That shit, when we had the office on Beverly, you played it for me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
There was a couple of the joints you was working on up in there, and to me, I was like, that's ready to go. That's ready to roll out.
Yeah, hopefully that stuff will come out on maybe Stylus. You know, if I can convince them to release my stuff, then I can put that out.
Well, you never produced any whackness yet, so I'm sure it's going to be dope. I can't wait to hear that.